Okay, now we're live. One of those weird things where I click the go live button and I was looking, I think it's already gone. I think it's already live. But if it's been live for 5 seconds, I've been sitting here with a stupid expression on my face for 5 seconds. Well, there is honestly nothing particularly unusual in that. So just, live with it. So, hey, I'm just waiting for peeps to arrive in the live chat, but right now it's just us, just you and me, having some special time. And who doesn't like some special time? Hello, Musical, Aviator, and Luke. How are you this, I'll call it a fine evening, despite the fact there is so much in this world that is not fine. And hello, Adele. Nice to see you. People rolling in. Feels like I'm through that phase of doing the live streams almost every night, and this is the first one I've done since last Friday, so it feels a bit weird. Yes, I agree, Musical Aviator. World Health Day is very bizarre at the moment. World Drink and Alcoholic Beverage Day, much more agreeable. You got flu vax today. That's fair. It's super weird, like, because if I was still working in the office, they provide, where I'm working now provides staff flu vax. I probably would have had it by now. But of course, I and almost everyone from the offices is working from home. So remains to be seen what's going to happen insofar as flu vaccinations. So I didn't even had a 10-minute nap mid-seminar this afternoon. Goodness. Oh, look, okay, you got it for free with the big issue. Well, that's pretty good. Strictly Sega, g'day to you as well. I think because I'm not sure what's going to happen because I'm a contractor at my current workplace, and workplaces that provide flu vax, but the person giving it out is never that busy, and they're happy to give it to anyone who comes in. So I think if it'd been in the office, I would have got it. But now they're saying they're going to send staff vouchers to get a vaccination done at a chemist or a doctor's surgery, and they might only give those to permanents. I can't really hold it against them if they do. So I don't know what's going to happen there. You fell asleep in torts, and it was a question you were already appropriate use of time. Oh, nice, Justin. Found out that you're an NDIS client means you can get groceries delivered. Well, that's not bad. And hello to you too, Charlie. Nice to see you. Big Bad Ads. I tend to agree with you. I think Pell maybe doesn't want to make a lot of public appearances, despite quashed by the High Court. I don't think parading around in public is in his best interests. In other words, I think he should do it. Oh, wow. Okay. So your asthma. Yeah, I get that, Adele. You got asthma bad. You want to do everything possible to not get flu. You're going to get a whooping cough vaccination before you're an auntie. Okay, fair enough. Justin, does AIDS get NDIS? Probably. He's like, he's one of the most health challenged people I know. So he probably does. I honestly don't know the specifics, though. I'm just kind of assuming that he does because he sees a lot of medical people. So things are still a bit stressed for him. Dealing with stressors in his environment. As you say, Adele, the High Court was arguing legalese, not morality. Yeah, Justin, I think he probably does qualify for getting groceries delivered. Not absolutely sure. I know he got told very explicitly by his doctor, you need to, because he is quite immunocompromised and suffered damage to all of his internal organs. So he would not cope well with severe illness. So he has been told very explicitly that he's supposed to stay indoors. So yeah, again, I'm assuming they've said like, well, you get stuff delivered. So is the case. Ah. Yes, Adele, you want to have Pearl thrown in solitary, even though, as you say, it is not the way the law works. It is. Yeah, it does get very strange, and it's harder to be passionate about emotive cases and circumstances. Yes, maybe the Rona will strike, and we don't sort of have to worry about him wandering this earth for much longer. Who am I? Okay, here's the thing, because very related, very important note. Church of confession, and when you really look at the rules around it, this is where it becomes clear that the Catholic Church has shown much more interest in protecting their image, protecting their wealth, much more interested in that than they have shown protecting the victims of sexual abuse by the clergy. Hi, Gecko. Coming in just as I'm saying something really down and depressing. And a related thing is under the seal of the confessional, a priest is not allowed to tell anyone what someone confesses to him. No matter how terrible, no matter what sort of crime it may be, the priest, not anyone that someone's confessed a terrible crime to them. But see, here's the thing, and this is the evidence of what the motivation of the church is, because the actual doctrine around confession is you only are actually forgiven of your sins if you truly repent of the sins. If your biggest thing is to not commit the sin, and from repeated cases, these members of the clergy did not offend once, they offended again and again and again. And they did confess to other priests who gave them absolution, and they continued to offend. Now, if the Catholic Church cared at all about this issue of the sex offenders in their ranks, the Pope would issue an edict to all Catholic priests. The only true sign of atonement for a crime like this is that the person confessing goes to the police and also makes a confession to the police. Anything less than that, the person is not sincere in their atonement and does, and it should be a black and white edict to priests. They would say when someone confesses to them, not just of sexual crimes, but murder and whatnot, although I think that's probably pretty rare, that the priest says you only gain absolution if you complete an act of penance, and that is you confess to the police, and if and you are not allowed back in the church until you have absolved yourself of the sin. So in other words, you cannot come back to church until you confess. And this is most definitely to other clergy. Like, you do not, you're cast out of the order until you confess to the police. And until they do that, they're just not serious. They're just not serious. Church above the law, because anyone else has everyone has a legal responsibility to inform the police if they're aware of someone committing a crime. Catholic Church says they don't have to. Hey, Shazi, how's it going? It was that line, Spider. In Ireland, they turn their backs on the church. Yeah. The reaction that people to this sort of absolute epidemic of sexual abuse in religious orders is bizarre to me. Anything apart from complete rejection of that religious order is just inexplicable to me. I cannot understand how, when there's the irrefutable evidence of the sexual predators all throughout this group, and the ones who aren't actively offending, most of them are actively involved in covering up the offending, then how you can continue to associate with that order is just absolutely inexplicable to me. Justin, is there any church with a good reputation of dealing with the issues? Not that I'm aware of. Someone wants to point me to it, well and good, but not that I'm aware of. The idea of a lot of the Royal Commission into institutional abuse was redacted, was not made public, because there was a belief it would prejudice the trial of Pell. Now that legal proceeding is completely done with, it should be possible to get an unredacted transcript of the Royal Commission, which, hey Lee, how's it going? Zaffa, the Catholic Church explicitly thinks they're above the law. It's as simple as that. And I mean, that's not me saying, oh, I infer from their actions. No, they have explicitly stated they don't have to follow the law. So, I mean, seriously, can you imagine what would happen with a Muslim cleric saying, oh, no, I don't have to follow the law. I can just be outside the law. Instances in Muslim congregations, in Jewish congregations, in Hindu congregations, where there are terrible crimes of sexual abuse and violence that are covered up within that community. We know it happens in all communities, but the public would not be near so supportive of a Muslim cleric going on trial for sexual against them. Catherine, I did hear that a lot of states in the US, the governors are too scared to say churches have to be shut down. So you wait. You think like the cases in the US are bad now? Look at what the numbers are going to be 2, 3, 4 weeks after Easter. It's going to be bad. Hiccups from I made a what's that stuff called again? Soursop and lemonade. They're very tropical. The lemonade gave me the hiccups. That's all right. Actually, I don't think it's full on hiccups. Safra, is anyone else on Wi-Fi? There's always someone else on Wi-Fi here. Is anyone else getting a stuttering signal from me? There are so many things that could be the source of the problem. Yes, Justin, you're right. Some people think that they can still go on holidays in Easter. Traveling anywhere is a really fucking bad idea. Okay, so we've got stuttering. I could go and get a cable. You find people could. Okay, it's obviously something wrong. You'll hang on and stuff. I'm going to go get a cable. Oh, who knows? Who knows? Okay, look. Hopefully, it's going to clear up soon. Mrs. Angry is on a webinar. Yeah. Sorry, I'm just going back. What did I miss? Yes, Gecko. I did see. There's a video of a lady saying it's okay for her to go to church because she's covered in the blood of Jesus, which is just kind of fucked. Okay. Well, hopefully, if you can struggle with me for like 5 or 10 minutes, Mrs. Angry is watching a webinar next door, which is very likely the source of the congestion locally. It was supposed to be finished 20 minutes ago. But or so minutes, and then hopefully bandwidth opens up and we are all hunky dory. Hope Turnbull's internet is running shit. Turnbull's just a coward. He followed Tony Abbott's instructions to destroy the NBN, and Abbott was following Murdoch's instruction because Murdoch. So if you use mobile tethering, I don't want to bloody run up my mobile bill. Actually, yeah, but that's just complicated. Essentially, I actually could, because I realize I don't really I don't come close to using all my data, because I really upped it, because I did use all my data once or twice. Nice, Adele. I had fried chicken, like homemade popcorn chicken, with rice tonight. Young Mzangri marinated the chicken. Oh, Lee, putting hand up for chat. I probably will do that, actually. I just think, what do I have to do to make this a Wi-Fi? Personal hotspot on iPhone can provide internet access to other devices kind in a cloud account without requiring you to enter the password. I mean, I could. I'm just worried this will cut out the bloody live stream. That's my TV. So hidden now. What's this? Okay. Can you all tell me if it's any better? We've got to give it a minute or two to see if it gets any better because the webinar is over now. So we'll see if this helps. Otherwise, I'll need to get a. If it's just NBN nights, one of those NBN nights where it's just saying, oh, you know what, we're going to suck really hard. We say Lone Spider, there's some bitch slapping between Turnbull and Rudd on the NBN. I missed that. Probably be pretty funny. But there is no question. I mean, like I said, everyone, most people limit their cursing to the LNP because they deliberately sabotaged the political reasons. But as I've often said before, I'm also really miffed at bloody Stephen Conroy for screwing up the rollout of the NBN and alienating Telstra so much they did a go slow on it. Because when Labor managed to cock up and lose the election, if the rollout had advanced far enough, the LNP wouldn't have been able to destroy it. But it hadn't progressed very hard. A toast to good health. Cheers. That's my soursop juice. Soursop nectar with lemonade. Yes. I think we can all agree Murdoch sucks and his media sucks, and we don't like it. Turnbull claimed Rudd's plan would have had most Australians still on ADSL. Well, okay, Turnbull's just deliberately to cover his own shame, and he should be ashamed because he knew what he was doing. He knew what he was doing, and if he says ridiculous things like the Conroy Rudd plan would have had people on ADSL, that's just a lie, and he knows he's lying. So yes, okay, it's been a couple minutes now. Have the last couple minutes been still stuttering? So let me know what's it been like for the last couple minutes. So if didn't Labor separate Telstra into two companies? I honestly don't know. I know the reason Telstra got narky is Conroy out of the blue said Telstra wasn't going to. Oh, it's still okay. It's still breaking up. Can I please have the cable? Which will hopefully fix it. Just realised, speaking of poor bloody cable discipline here, I've got to move a couple things. Ugh, where's this? Fix things up in lappy toppy land. All right, that's better. The occasional pause. Okay, well, I'm going to get a cable in a minute, which will hopefully fix it. Hello, Minzy. Are you going to come and say hello? You haven't said hello to people on the live stream in a very long time. No, you're going to wander off. Fair enough. I think she's actually just earlier. I think she's hunting around going, oh, maybe he dropped a bit on the floor. Sometimes he drops bits on the floor, and I get it. Why don't you bring it through that door? I'm not sure where you're going. Okay. I have an absurdly long cable. But yes, let's. So, no, Mimsy has in fact abandoned me. She looked like she was going to come in, and then she abandoned. Okay, you've been watching on your phone. Okay, so I got to switch. What do we got off here? Oh no! What? Oh, what the hell? Okay, I think I just worked out why. How many meters? It's like that one. Okay. I'm really worried that I'm gonna worried about. Okay. Okay, now slightly too late. I think I worked out why I was having a problem before, but I'm not having it anymore. I don't think. Am I still here? Refresh your browser if not. Still live. Good. How many meters? I don't remember. 20? It was long. I decided to just get a really long one so I could run cables to different rooms. I just realized the Wi-Fi had gone to the wrong router and it was picking up a dodgy signal from the other end of the house. And if I'd have worked that out a bit sooner, that would have been good. But we've got a cable now, so yay! The video is like the video is often at, I think the best it ever gets is it's 10 seconds behind real life. So, but yeah, often it's 30 seconds. Now, part of the reason there's a big lag is because I'm not going directly to YouTube. I'm using StreamYard as a platform. And then StreamYard broadcasts, well, I can broadcast to two places. So like I'm broadcasting to YouTube and Facebook at the same time. So there's that. But yeah, there tends to be a delay. Adele, you're more of a fan of gin than vodka cocktails now. That's new. Well, gin has a pretty distinct flavor. And of course, again, gin aficionados will talk about the very different types of gin, and they'll talk about the different flavor profiles. I just say gin. And Twitch gin aficionados will be going, and they say it's so different. Yeah, okay, good on you. But whatever type of gin it is of course a more distinct flavor. Nice, Luke. You got vodka coming with your next shopping. Good planning, that man. Of course, vodka being much more neutral. Vodka is meant to be completely neutral, so rarely is. But vodka's meant, like the actual definition of vodka is it's meant to be completely neutral taste-wise. So when you're mixing it with something, if you don't overdo it with the vodka, it has much less influence on the taste of what you're mixing it with. Whereas gin has much more of a flavor with all the botanicals. It can make gin a much more acquired taste because it has a much more distinctive taste. But again, people who get into it, so it's more rewarding. I was surprised when I had a gin and tonic recently because I didn't think I liked tonic water either. But I had a gin and tonic, and it's really good. Ooh, Luke, you've not gone for a cheap bottle of vodka. Classy, that man. Justin, what do I think about Boris in the ICU? It's very serious. Not to be making light of, just because Boris Johnson is absolute fucking garbage. Oh no, I'm not finding it funny. I wouldn't say anything like he deserves to die for all these years of trying to destroy the NHS. I wouldn't say anything like that at all. Do you like gin with citrusy flavors? Oh yeah, Sky Vodka's a pretty neutral one. I've got what have I got? Well, I've got Costco American vodka, and it's pretty neutral. Very smooth, very easy to drink. It's like cheap vodkas are a bit like paint stripper and can be very hard to drink. And I got that Alien Head vodka just because I wanted the bottle, but I did taste test it on the stream a while back, and it's very smooth, very easy to drink. Yes, Arthur, you're right. There's no deputy prime minister role in England. In fact, it's a relatively, I could be wrong, but I think it's a relatively recent invention in Australia. I don't know. Hey, Big Pat, how you doing, buddy? Catherine goes Smirnoff. Oh, Smirnoff's perfectly acceptable. It's not as smooth as these ones I have. Oh yeah, Adele, $20 vodka with raspberry soda. Yeah, I remember. When it was probably like 20 years ago, I was having a bit of a bad time. Actually, it wasn't 20 years, but anyway, it was a while back, and I remember I bought some really cheap vodka because I thought it didn't make any difference because you're not going to be able to taste it. Oh, when it's really cheap, you can taste it no matter what you mix it with because it's fucking nasty. Big Pat, you're good. That is good. Yes, Arthur, UK Labour got a new leader and it's barely in the news because it's completely fucking meaningless in the grand scheme of things with the Tories' massive majority. I have no idea who it is. Charlie, you think the fire truck's too sugary? Yeah, you may be right there. So, Gecko, you're back in desk. Now, Mimsy was kind of just here, and I thought she'd come up and say hello, and she didn't. She did not. Okay, strictly saying, Office of the Deputy Prime Minister was officially created as the ministerial portfolio in 1968. That's relatively recent. That's like 50 years ago. Just over 50 years ago. So in the grand scale, that's relatively recent. Is it tied to Holt? No, I think that was... I'll look it up. Australian PM 1968. Who was PM in 1968? John McEwen and John Gorton, according to this. Australia's PMs. So, Holt dipped out in 67. Dipped, get it? Dipped, went for a swim. And then John McEwen must have been the stand-in. And then John Gorton for a whole 3 years. Then Billy McMahon for a whole 2 years. Then Gough Whitlam for a whole 3 years. And then Malcolm Fraser for 8 years. Then Bobby Hawke for 8 years. And Paul Keating for 5 years. And Little Johnny Howard for 10 years. And then Little Kevin Rudd for 3 years. And Julia Gillard for 3 years. And Tony Abbott for 2 years. And Malcolm Turnbull for 3 years. Scott Morrison's coming up on 1.5 years. There you go. There you go. Yeah, we got a $12 shaker from Dan Murphy's. Yeah, Dan Murphy's cocktail supplies are actually fine. So that's actually a good question. Did they create Deputy PM because of Holt and his poorly advised swimming excursion? Gecko been driving for Lyft. Damn it, $90 after 6 hours. Damn. That's what I heard. I don't remember who it was here whose mum had been working at the dispatch center for a taxi driver and got laid off because no one's working the office, so no one's getting taxis. Like, taxi bookings dropped off 95%. Just, oh. Ah, no, Shazi. Yeah, within 100 meters of a Dan Murphy's. Oh, no. Terrible, terrible, terrible temptation. I might go to Costco, and I sort of make jokes about the giant things, but I've got giant things of booze from Costco, so they probably don't have anything I want. The only thing I've been thinking of getting, and I'm having trouble finding it, in fact, be like an overproof rye whiskey. Very hard to find it, and when you find it, it's like freaky expensive. Like, it's significantly over double the cost of, say, a bottle of bourbon. So I'm not sure it's worth it. Big Pat, what's on your YouTube today, buddy? All right, Gecko, no daytime drives. Yeah, no one's bloody driving. Yep. Lee, you had a taxi driver between. Yeah, but I mean, I'm looking at sorry, I lost my train of thought because I was thinking about two things at once. And then my brain said, no, you can't. You can't think about two things at once. I'll teach you a lesson. You'll forget what you were thinking about altogether. So these are about taxis and 95% of business going. Because no one's going to work. And that was what all the taxis were. So we're all talking about how close. I don't live that close to a Dan Murphy's. What were you talking about, Adele? You think something's a bit Ponzi priced? Oh, Gecko, you get long distance rides at night. Okay. Yeah, no one's traveling at night. Sorry, shops in Bentley sell rye bread. No, I want rye whiskey, not rye bread. Oh, yeah, the overproof. Okay, I wasn't sure what I was saying. I think that's a tax thing, actually. Overproof spirits get taxed even higher. And that's actually what the whole proof thing was. I've had this discussion on the stream before. What 100 proof means it's 50% alcohol. But if it's like 100 proof over 100 proof, you put a grain of gunpowder into the spirit and then take it out and light it, and it will burn. And if it's under proof, it usually won't burn without being warm. If you warm it up, it'll burn. But just at room temperature, overproof spirits will burn gunpowder. So, and the overproof spirits were taxed at a higher rate because obviously you could dilute them and make more booze. So they're going, oh, we think you're pulling a scam, so we're going to tax you at a higher rate. So there's that. I think that's why partly because also I think people don't buy it that often. So I think it's a boutique thing and it's taxed higher, so it costs more. Like, I got overproof rum that probably cost 50% more than comparable rums because it's 69% alcohol. Nice. As opposed to 40% alcohol. And it costs like 50% more than comparable rums. And overproof whiskeys are very hard to find. And when you find them, they're like super expensive. Like, easily double or more price of like a bottle of bourbon. So, so far I should try Kvass. Has rye in it. I can't recall if knock shops are still operational. I believe in Victoria, at least, sex work is now illegal. It's regarded as high risk for virus transmission. Look up description of kvass, a beverage. Kvass, a Slavic Baltic beverage made from rye bread. Oh, it's a beer. Now, see, I don't really want a beer. It's a fermented thing. I want something distilled thing. Gecko, can we get pure grain like Everclear? I'm going to go with no. I don't think Everclear has ever been on the market here. There was a while you could get this Polish rectified spirit, same basic stuff, 95% alcohol. Then 1 or 2 deaths related to that, and a lot of medical authorities said it should be banned, and I think it did get banned. It was only ever available in a couple of really limited specialty places anyway. I've still got the last of the herb tincture I made it's a couple of years ago now. Doesn't go off. It's like pure alcohol. Safi, you reckon kvass tastes like cola? Okay, I'll take your word. It's just because it's fermented. I don't know. Oh, that's interesting, Luke. If you open a rideshare app now, it warns you to only use it for essential travel. And essential these days is basically limited to work, buying like groceries that you need, or going to a family member's house, really, or going for a medical appointment would be another one, I think. Safa. Oh, right. Okay, Safa, you're saying can buy kvass in Bentley. Gigo, you need to send me a bottle of Everclear. I have this suspicion customs would stop it. Bentley. I'm just going to see if it returns. Fine Gourmet Deli in Bentley. Russian Food, Center Road, Bentley, which is actually my neighbor. Well, it's a couple of suburbs away. Website for a Russian food shop. There's a lot of Russian Jewish people in this neighborhood. So search. Do these people sell kvass? No results found for kvass. Okay, but it sounds like it's in the right general area in Bentley. I don't know. See, that doesn't count as essential these days, I don't think. Yeah, Gecko, say it's aftershave or something. Same alcohol content as aftershave. Oh, Big Pat, you put a TikTok up on YouTube. Cool. So that's where you buy it in Melbourne. Okay. That's really only 2 suburbs away from me. Actually, I'm thinking of going in that general direction. As I was saying, thinking of going to Costco in Moorabbin tomorrow, which is further. But it's the closest Costco. So if we're going to go to Costco, I'm still going on the shortest trip. And it'll be interesting because I have no idea what the Costco will have in stock. Okay, you can keep it in the original bottle. I mean, I just think if it's just packed and is a gift. I suspect like years ago, as a joke, I posted some Kinder eggs to a variety of people in America because they were illegal in America. I suspect they never got them. This is very hard to tell. Justin, yes, I'm in the Brighton area. It's an Indian restaurant I really like in Brighton, actually. Throw it out there. Actually, that's a good point, Shirazi. Gecko saying you're going to say it's isopropyl alcohol. It's actually really difficult to get isopropyl alcohol at the moment because people are doing homemade hand sanitizer. Big Bet, your TikTok name is Wrestling Days 2. Okay. Gecko, I've seen that modified version of Kinder Eggs. It's like plastic you can open and it's like a dip. It's like a Nutella type dip in it. It's even difficult to find Metho. And I actually, Justin, I agree. Brighton's full of snobs, old people who sometimes go to the cinema in Brighton, the Palace, and be really thinking like, oh my God, I'm not young, but I'm much younger than anyone else in this cinema. I live in old people suburbs now. Not everyone in my neighborhood is a retiree, but a significant percentage of them are. There's a lot of them. Lion Spider, you've sent Vegemite to the USA. I've sent Vegemite to the USA as well, actually. Adele, the Kinder Egg ban in the US is all this choking hazard thing. It's like, right, so American kids can't have Kinder Eggs, but they can have guns. Good Lord. Safi, you reckon Zoom was redirecting their video traffic through China? Yes, Justin, it's a very liberal voter area. All the suburbs through here. Gego, you laughed at the airplane reference at the end of Scary Movie 4, and you were the only one who laughed. Oh, sorry. Is that feeling old, is it? Yeah, quite possibly. Spider, why did they keep removing Vegemite from the parcels? Because they didn't know what it was, I guess, would be the main thing. Yes, Charlie, in Australia, it was flying high. In America, it was just called airplane. Yes. They're using GoToMeeting. It's my work using Skype and Microsoft Teams. Very clear directive to people now they're walking from and saying, I want to use Zoom. IT is like, no, Zoom is a security nightmare. It's fucking terrible. No, you can't use. No, we are not sanctioning Zoom. It's terrible. So Adele, we're talking about what drink. You wanted to make a gin cocktail? Why don't I consult my Bible, the Cocktail Chronicles, see if they recommend a good gin one? Gifford's looking gin. Gin starts on page 32. Okay. So on page 32, I think it's a gimlet. Oh, yeah, there's a whole section on gin, which is not that surprising. Oh, God. Yes, a gimlet's an absurdly simple... Oh, you used up your gin. Okay. Okay, you saw a tweet thanking Pee Wee Herman for inventing Zoom. Okay, that's a reference I'm not getting, actually. Okay, you used up your gin. Okay, then I won't look up gin cocktails, Adele. There are lots of pages of it. Gimlet is just gin and lime juice, or actually lime cordial. So you have vodka, honey liqueur, triple sec, creme de menthe, and bitters. And you have juices. You have like lemon juice, lime juice. Because if you have lemon juice, let's see, what doses does this guy recommend in a sidecar? Be doing a variation of a sidecar, but I'm gonna check. What do I have in sidecar? 70. Ah, come on. Where's that? No? There's a reference there. Sidecar. Okay. Cointreau lemon juice. Okay. Here's what I'd recommend for you, Adele. So, think of things. Okay. So I would go 1 ounce of vodka, or 30 mils of vodka, or 1 shot of vodka, 1 shot of the honey liqueur, 3/4 shot Cointreau, and half an ounce of lemon juice. So if you're in Australia, is a miniature Earth inside Earth. That's one way of looking at it. So, after the UK government used Zoom, and Boris Johnson posted a screenshot that actually showed the meeting ID, which was dumb. Okay, let me see what Twitter's telling me. Okay. Oh, right. Pee Wee Herman, the inventor of Zoom. Okay, he invented video chat. There you go. That makes sense. From the old Pee Wee's Playhouse, he had the tin can on a string turned into a video chat. Yes, Adele, shake it up. Yes. So go 1 ounce, 30 mils vodka, 1 ounce, 30 mils of honey liqueur, half to 3/4 of an ounce of would you have triple sec Cointreau, something like that? Yeah, triple sec. Okay, so half to 3/4 of an ounce of triple sec, so 25 mils, depending how you're measuring it, and half an ounce of lemon juice, and shaky, and I think that will be a nice drink. What am I going to have? I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to look something up. I'm so self-conscious every time I want to cough in public now, because I had to go out and buy something today, and I thought I'm going to cough, and everyone's going to think I've got the Rona, and honestly, I probably don't. Perfect Spring Spirits. Oh, actually, maybe it was Diffords. It was Diffords I was looking at. In Tilbrook. Today is World Health Day. That is true. What do they think is penicillin? Of course you drink a penicillin on World Health Day. And it's also King Kong's birthday, apparently. It's Russell Crowe's birthday. There you go. All right, I'm going to look up things. I know a penicillin's got ginger in it, and I don't have or like ginger. A monkey gland, which I've heard of. That's gin, orange juice, which I've got an absinthe and actually, that's got some things I want to use in it. I might make that a monkey gland to commemorate that it's King Kong's birthday. But also for Russell Crowe's birthday, they say a kiwi Collins. What's that? Kiwi fruit. Well, I don't have kiwi fruit. Vodka, lemon juice, sugar syrup. So, all right, I'm going to make a monkey gland. Gin, orange juice, a little bit of absinthe and grenadine, and sugar syrup. Okay. wearing a mask. I don't have a mask. Mrs. Anger is going to make me one out of a t-shirt. Big bad, you're not sure if it's COVID or a sinus infection. Do you have a fever? That's one of the warning signs. Suffer. People still drinking Corona. I'm not a beer drinker, so I don't know. The story about people not drinking Corona was overblown. Although I bet there are people who don't think. It's also funny there's an Asian soft drink called SARS, which is sarsaparilla, which everyone assumed when the SARS outbreak happened those years ago, that the SARS soft drink probably took a hit. So if I'm going to make... This is a shaky one. All right. So I'm going to get my shaker and some gin and some... Oh, that's it. Okay, so... Where's the gin? Gin. That's gin. Where's my shaker? There. Ugh. Ooh, I'm old and don't like bending over. Gin. Let's add just a splash of absinthe. And also want orange juice. Grenadine. Yes, I got my homemade grenadine. And simple syrup. Oh, that stuff. This is my grenadine. Right, so I'm gonna mix this oop. So, get that out of the way. Put some ice in the shaker. Ice in the shaker. What am I gonna do? Supposed to put it in a martini glass. Do I want to be stylish and put it in a martini glass? Maybe. Where's my martini glass? There it is. This. Ooh, okay. Don't break any glassware. Be careful. Chill that for a couple minutes while I get everything ready. Right. I think I've got everything sorted now. Okay. Right. Gin first. Trying to use up the last of the gin in this bottle. Okay, 2 Wizards of Oz of gin. Let's say London Dry. I think this actually is London Dry. There you go. When I said about different types of gin, I don't know the difference. I just get gin that's on the shelf. Okay, what else do we have? Orange juice, absinthe. Really, 1.5 shots of orange juice. Okay. Orange juice. I don't often put orange juice in cocktails, actually. Little bit of absinthe. It says 1/6 of an ounce, which is actually got my new measuring glass here. 1/6 of an ounce is okay. 5 mils, basically. Look, I'm going to measure it. I'm going to be fucking professional and measure it. 5 mils. Normally I just eyeball it, but I actually only got that little mini measuring glass today, and it was for exactly this sort of thing where people put really small measurements in. So, okay. Agave syrup. 1/6 of a shot of agave syrup. There we go. 5 mils. And 1/6 of a shot of grenadine. Being awfully precise with these tiny measures. There we go. Grenadine, which I made by boiling, I suppose I boiled it, pomegranate juice and sugar. Sounds very unhealthy, doesn't it? It is. So, gin, orange juice, absinthe, grenadine, sugar syrup. That's everything. All right. What have you kids been doing in the chat while I've been gone? Safa, RCA, you mean RSA, responsible service of alcohol? Brian, talking about sarsaparillas. Okay, you shake it long enough, middle shaker gets really cold. That's how you know it's ready. When the shaker is basically too cold to hold on to without it being painful. Right. Get my martini glass that I was chilling. I should have chilled it for longer, but it's frosty. Right. This is probably going to be a very interesting color. It's my strainer. There we go. Ooh, oh wow. Because of my blue absinthe and the orange juice, it's a kind of pea soup green. It's not, it looks worse on camera because for some reason this web camera doesn't show green very well, but it's kind of a pea soup green, which is honestly very interesting. Ooh, got that aroma going on. Oh, it's like there was 5 mils of absinthe in here. It's the strongest flavor, but it's got the other stuff going on too, which is like, well, thank you for whoring up my cocktail channel on Instagram, Adele. Oh. And yes, Adele, cocktails look good in a coupe glass. The other good glass is a Nick and Nora. I'll show you the ones I got. This is obviously a martini glass. Fairly archetypal cocktail glass, that one. Yeah. This, let me sit down. Oh, this is a coupe glass. So like a variation on a wine glass, basically, and you get slight variations. And so this has got a pattern on it. They don't all have patterns on it, but this is a coupe glass, and this is a Nick and Nora glass. You probably can't see it, but this has really nice etchings on the glass. Very elegant glass, this one. It makes cocktails look better if it's in a nice glass, quite honestly. And the visuals, actually, I'm not going to put them here. I'm going to put these back on my drink craft. So, Stella, you made it in. Yes, it's only halfway. So, yes, nice glassware actually adds to it. I've also got, of course, my big tiki mug you're probably familiar with seeing, and what do you call it? Old-fashioned or rocks glass. Yes, Nick and Nora is a very nice glass. Again, you can see it's like a variation on a wine glass. I probably like Nick and Nora more than a coupe, actually. Feel quite elegant drinking out of these. Right, I'll put the Nick and Nora back. Oh, actually, I'll put the Nick and Nora there. That'll do. So yes, having a nice glass to drink out of make you feel very fancy. Oh yes, off daylight savings time. Yes. Oh, that's pretty good. I think the bit I'm finding unusual is the orange juice, because I very rarely use orange juice in a cocktail. Maybe if I'm making like a rum one, like a tiki cocktail. But That's probably the most unusual flavor to me in here. The one I really noticed, the absinthe, but then it gets carried away and you get the gin notes coming through, and really the grenadine and the sugar syrup are just to sweeten it a little bit. So it's got like absinthe up front, and towards the back of it, you taste the gin, which is not nice. Anyway. Safa, what do I think about margaritas? Not big on margaritas. Maybe I'm being a snob. Maybe I think margaritas are just cliche. Because I have tequila. I like making drinks with tequila or mezcal. And I mean, what's a margarita? Is just tequila, Cointreau, and lime juice. Yeah, which is a classic combo. Like I said, one of my favorite cocktails is a sidecar, which is brandy or cognac and Cointreau and lemon juice. So, margaritas just swap out the brandy for tequila, swap out the lemon juice for lime juice. I think ads. Do I have any Beanley rum in stock? No. I have to admit, I liked getting the Beanley rum, the white rum, because I could color it with things. And I have not seen the Beanley. That was just from Dan Murphy's. I have not seen the Beanley white rum for sale in ages. There are some other Beanley rums. For those who don't know, that's another Queensland rum. The most well-known is Bundaberg rum, but Beanley is also a Queensland rum. Gecko, you like a strawberry margarita? I've got a bloody strawberry chocolate liqueur in the fridge. Can make a good dessert cocktail with that. Put some fruity flavors in, be like a strawberry banana split. I could make one with strawberry liqueur, banana liqueur, and macadamia nut liqueur. So you get the taste of it's like strawberry ice cream with banana and nuts on top. Yes, making dessert cocktails can be fun. It's pretty easy to do. If you get a chocolatey liqueur, whether that's like this one I've got or Tia Maria or whatever, like a chocolatey liqueur, and then just put some fruit flavors in with it, and you're good. Gecko, you like milk chocolate with a good whiskey like Maker's Mark. I've never really paired chocolate and whiskeys, but I can see where you're coming from there. Oh my God, are we talking about farty dogs now? People complaining about their farty dogs. That's such a worry. Adele, you like things citrusy. Yes, so do I have to admit. Lemon and lime juice are staples for a lot of good cocktails. Like I said, that combo of a spirit, fruit liqueur, and citrus juice, you can't really go wrong with it. Gecko, what did you say about cat toys? I think, your cat's favorite toy is the plastic seal ring from Gallon Milk Jugs. My cats, if they can knock something around, that'll keep them amused for ages. That's a good point. I had people come in live chat before. Lee wants to come in. Who wants to come into the live chat so we can do some socializing? Here, I'll copy that. Copy that. There. If y'all got your webcam handy, you want to come on in? Why not do a bit of online socializing? The Japanese have come up with the term for this, onnomi, online drinking. So we can socialize. There's Lee. Hey Lee, how's it going?
Hello. Yeah, I'm good.
Good. That's okay. Adele is not up for it. Feels a bit flat in blood. That's okay.
It's okay, Adele.
Compelled. Gecko, StreamYard it doesn't matter what platform you're on. It's literally just a web link. So you just have to be able to follow a web link and so on. So it doesn't matter from a phone perspective. It doesn't matter if it's a Apple or Android or Windows phone. It should work. So it's all good. No Beatles shirt tonight. Okay, was I wearing a Beatles shirt before, or who was wearing a Beatles shirt before? I like your angle. You were. Your angle's making you look like David Byrne. Your suit jacket is looking weirdly large. I think it's just the angle. It's making your suit jacket look huge. Very David Byrne, same as it ever was type of thing.
I'm a fan of David Byrne. He's a pretty good guy.
It's worthwhile being a fan of, honestly. Stella, don't click the link as you're naked in bed and no one wants to see that. Well, you see that. Being a fan. Gecko, we've got you on audio. Stella. No, he disappeared. There you go. All right. All right, I know what's happening there. Windows phones. Safa, some people still have Windows phones. I know they're not... they're probably not even sold new anymore, but some people hang on to their phones for a long time. I love. There's a comedian I know. There was an old Nokia phone called the N95. I used to have one of them. They slid out and thing, and he strapped it to his face and posted a picture saying, "I don't think these N95 masks work." And I just thought, like, oh my god! It was like you never knew why you held on to that phone. That's like a 10-year-old phone, but suddenly anything with N95 masks are the most desirable masks. So you decided to strap an N95 phone to your face. It's like, oh, okay. Oh, Gecko, okay. So the Firefox thing's thinking, oh well, say la vie, we'll soldier on. What have you been up to, Lee?
Me, well, apart from getting distinctions at uni, I've been studying more.
Yeah. Okay, so so you would have converted to doing stuff online by now, I'm guessing. How's that going?
Yeah. It's pretty lame. It's sort of like, what, I don't get to go to an actual building?
Yeah. Because both of my offspring are at uni, and they are not giving online classes rave reviews. They are. I think it varies from class to class, presenter to presenter, but they are not champions of the online classes. And then Mrs. Angry's lad, who's in year 12, is now trying to do the final year of school with online components, which is shaping up to be quite stressful. So,
high school stressful.
Yeah, it is. Okay, Adele's a fan of the online lectures. Well, that's good. I'm glad that they're working for you. But I love that. I saw you mentioning that before, Adele. Adult students who won't shut up and butt in and ask a bunch of questions that would have been answered if they just shut up and listen. But
that's true.
That is ever true. That was true back when I was at uni. There's always the mature age student who has to exert some sort of control. It's just a law of nature, I think.
Yeah, my lecturer was like, oh yes, the guy who's related to JFK and got caught singing Oh Yoko as he was leaving the lecture theatre one time got a distinction.
Okay.
And I was just like, oh, and everyone's like, oh, it's Lee Kennedy.
Yes. Of course. Yeah. Of the Kennedys. Just don't go to politics, you'll get shot.
I don't intend to get into politics.
No, not a good idea. Not a good idea at all.
I mean, the people I know that are in politics are just like, no, it's pretty hard.
I just like Adele likes online classes because it's easier to roll your eyes when they can't see you.
That I would agree with.
Okay. Oh, Gecko, you found out you've got something that works on Chrome, but if there's people sleeping in your apartment, I can get with it. You don't want to make news. Betty Wallaby, hello. How are you? How are things in the wilds of Canada?
Hey, Canada, eh?
Yes.
Nice.
She found herself an Aussie boy and dragged him off to Canada, and there they stay. So I was just saying, Pitty Willoughby is a very talented artist. She actually did some artwork. She did the furry versions of me and Aidsy. So
Oh, that's nice.
so I'm a Tasmanian devil and Aidsy's a woman. I can make I can make that bigger. Where trying to remember how this works.
Let me
Logo.
say, D. I wonder how he's doing.
Not there. There we are. That's me as a Tasmanian devil laughing, and AZ as a wombat being scared. That's a horror movie, and trying to find the other one she did for me. It's just me. Where is it? There. Open. Okay. And yeah, see, that's me in my work clothes as a Tasmanian devil. So yeah, courtesy of Betty Wallaby. Yes, she got our personas down very well. Oh, okay, Gecko, you worked out the reason you had a Firefox problem is you'd actually blocked camera access and permissions. That's okay. Another time. This is the whole thing of trying to socialize in this weird world that we find ourselves in now.
A weird world where you can't even leave the house.
Yeah, or it's frowned upon if you leave the house anyway. You've got to have a good reason. And might for some important grocery shopping, I might go out tomorrow. Depends. I'm going to look and see if they've got anything good on special in the supermarkets. I might go to the supermarket. I might go to Costco. But
Costco. My uncle Adrian actually works at Costco in Docklands.
Okay, that was the first Costco in Melbourne. That was the one I actually joined. Now there's 3 or 4. So I'm gonna get. It'd be interesting to see what they have in stock because last time I went to Costco, they didn't have any toilet paper. Do you know what I mean? And no beef.
Oh my goodness.
But the local Woolies has had a solid stock of toilet paper for a week or so now, and also they've got quite strict purchasing limits now. So I think they've finally managed to fully restock and they're keeping it going. I happened to go to Costco like a day before everyone went nuts, and I just went, I get some toilet paper while I'm here and just get one. It's just normal, which is like 48 rolls if you get it from Costco. And the next day everyone went nuts. Apparently it was just all out of control, and they've had trouble stocking toilet paper since then. And I've forgotten. Yeah, I know time is meaningless now. I don't remember if that was 2 weeks ago or 4 weeks ago.
Oh, well, as David Byrne says, life is long.
Yes. And I love it. Someone, I don't know who coined it first, but I did see it online. We don't have 7 days of the week anymore. It's just got weird. We only have 3 days: yesterday, today, and tomorrow. It's impossible to think beyond that. So there are only 3 days now.
Yeah, so true.
Oh, Pity Wallaby, you're both working from home at your end. Well, that's good.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, me too. And Mrs. Angry had her first day of working at home on Monday. She is a counsellor in the health department, so she's doing this type of stuff, having web conferences with clients. So everyone's used to doing stuff on camera these days.
With mine, I'd just say if you want our meeting to be hacked, then I would highly advise Zoom, but
Yeah.
we're not doing Zoom.
No, we got very clear directives to not use Zoom. But yes. Just so everything is fighting over the Wi-Fi. I think the Wi-Fi usage has settled down here now.
It looks like it.
Yeah. Because Mrs. Angry, when she's doing her day job, she's in a room that actually doesn't get good Wi-Fi, so she has the cable running into her laptop in there. Whereas that's my work. Where is it? It's all dark, but my work station is just behind me there, so this gets good Wi-Fi in this room. So I run off Wi-Fi. But yeah. Stella, I heard Adelaide was having the biggest trouble with getting toilet paper. Most other cities.
You know, it's made there. Yeah.
Oh, Gecko, you've turned it into a nice poem. Yesterday is the past, tomorrow's a mystery, today's a gift. That's why it's called the present. That's how we should view things. We've got today, and let's appreciate that. I like that. Oh, yeah. Kitty litter. Okay, yes. So that was actually something that from the local supermarket did disappear. Kitty litter and pet food. Like everyone was worried, their pets were gonna starve or run out of things to shit in, and so they bought a bunch of that. But I think that settled down. Last time I went, there was actually spaghetti. That I hadn't seen spaghetti on the shelf for a couple of weeks. It was still mostly gone, but there was some spaghetti. They had all the beef mince, they had toilet paper, but there were no eggs and there was no flour. Everyone's like baking. Everyone's baking at the moment. That's everyone's passing the time by making bread and cakes and things, I think. So after my pea plates, they don't want to. They have no interest. It's their generation, Zoomers. They've got no interest in getting a car license. Yes, you can see I have the giant bag of flour. Where is it? There. That's a Costco 5 kilogram bag of flour. They actually had bigger ones. We could have got a 10 kilo bag, but it's like, no, that's too big. That's too unwieldy.
Or 10 kilo bags from Costco of flour. Yeah, that's very American.
Yeah, well, Costco is actually designed for shops to shop there. It's designed. The food stuff's designed for cafe. And it's just like, you go there, hey, look, I found a 5 kilo tub of Nutella. Woo! It's actually meant for like cafes and places, not for home use. But too big. They have these things like food things that sound really good, like in their fridge and freezer section, but it's in 5 kilo bags. And I can't fit a 5 kilo bag or something in my fucking freezer. It's like the size of my entire freezer. It's this big. So it sounds good. No. I tried it because I can't bloody keep it in my freezer. Safa, can you shop at Costco without membership? I don't think so.
No, they will not let you in.
You can sign up on the day now. It used to, when I joined, you actually had to be a business. You had to be a proprietary limited business. That was the only way you could get a membership. That's how long I've been.
It's like that for me too.
Yeah, but these days there's just ordinary consumer membership as well, which actually costs more for consumers than for business membership. But I think, I think you could just go and sign up for a membership on the day and then shop. For it to be worth it, you probably have to shop. I think if you shop there 4 times a year, you'd probably be saving money. Unless you're a really big shopper. There you go. There's a Costco man. It would probably be worth it if you shop there like 4 times a year. And
a very interesting photo of me.
Oh yeah, the dot matrix photo they have on them is like so old school.
It's like you're in the Matrix.
Yeah.
Mr. Anderson.
And now it's just, Annette wants the 5 kilograms of Nutella. Yeah, I was really surprised. The 2 times I saw it, once it was the same sorted shaped jar as you get at the supermarket, except it was 5 kilos, so it's like ridiculously huge. The other one I've seen is just like a bucket. They're not even pretending. It's just for like a cafe to make endless Nutella sandwiches. There's just this big plastic bucket of Nutella. It's not actually that much. It is cheaper, but it's not hugely cheaper than supermarket. Gecko, there's probably 5 kilos of Vegemite there. I haven't seen it, but
Oh yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
probably. Justin, do I buy Costco fuel? I never have, no, because they actually make it reasonably difficult. And it's not, again, there's no big sign telling you what price the fuel is. And often there's a lot of people lined up. So you like line up for 10 or 15 minutes and get there and go, this is the same fucking price as this petrol station in my house. Why did I wait 15 minutes? I'm like, okay.
That's very true.
Yeah. So Costco fuel, I've never actually got. How often do I go to Costco, Saha? Once every month or two. Not really regularly, but like once every month or two. So it's ultimately worth it because I go half a dozen to 10 times a year. So I'm saving money. And I was a big fan of getting the 1.7 litre bottles of whiskey and don't run out of that in a hurry. Is petrol cheaper? I haven't looked for a little while because I haven't been driving anywhere. It's not going to work. So it was. Some people were reporting a week or so ago it had actually gone under $1 a litre. I saw it at $1.20 a litre. Whereas recently it was like $1.70 a litre, which is like outrageous.
Oh gosh. Oh yeah, my last uni tutorial, I was just like, I'm max headroom, and people did not get it except for the tutor. Tutor's like, I'm old enough to remember that.
Yeah, that's something that should get rebooted. Actually, Max Headroom was a great show.
Yeah,
a few mutations. There was a movie. There was like a drama TV show, and there was Max Headroom hosting a music video show. Did you ever see Max Headroom presenting music videos?
Yeah, I saw Paranoia as well.
Yes, did that song with The Art of Noise. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a pretty good song.
Yeah. I loved him presenting music videos, though. It was just this sort of stuttering electronic person acting like he was friends with everyone who was in the music videos. And it's just like, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Have you heard of that One World Together and All Together or whatever? It's by Global Citizen.
Is that like all the TV hosts are doing broadcast together?
Yeah, and musicians as well. And you've got that musician that you feel like, to make sure that all the Beatles are dead, that you would actually put a little bit extra in him too.
Sorry, what have I said I'm going to do to someone?
Paul McCartney.
Oh, right. No, that was the old mean joke. Yes, when John Lennon was dead.
I know you were joking. It's all right.
Yeah. How would you reunite the Beatles? 3 more bullets. And I used to always say no 6 because I'm going to pump 3 or 4 into McCartney. Want to make sure. Because I was a punk. Hated Paul McCartney because I was a punk. Stuff like that. Oh, yeah, Gecko. The pirate TV incident. Look that up. It was like Max Headroom Pirate TV. Someone took over a TV transmitter at a American TV station and broadcast this weird Max Headroom shit they'd done. It was pretty weird. Yeah, I think you can find it on YouTube. And yes, the actor who was the base for Matt Frewer, the Max Headroom actor was Matt Frewer. In the TV series, Matt Frewer's a journalist, and he exposes some bad guys who kidnap him and try and kill him, and they basically try and do a composite of him into a computer to pretend he's not dead, but it doesn't really work, and you get this glitchy, stuttery Max Headroom. I got that name because when he was when the Matt Frewer character was trying to escape from the bad guys, he was just about to escape. He was going out of a underground car park, and because they had a hacker working for him, he lowered the boom gate, which actually had a warning on it that said max headroom 2.3 m, as in maximum headroom 2.3 m, and he smashed into it. And that was his last memory because his like face smashed into this thing saying max headroom. So when they did the brain scan and tried to make the electronic version, the last thing it remembered was max headroom and thought that was his name. So
Oh yeah, and the actor that actually played Max Headroom, he was under so much things on his face.
yes,
He was.
yeah,
Oh,
he basically had the
and I'm like,
plastic
well,
over his face. Yeah,
yeah,
it was weird because they didn't actually have the computer technology to make the computer max headroom, so they cheated and put plastic prosthetics all over Matt Frewer and
yes.
had him pretend to be a computer animation, and they used some jittery editing to make it look like he was glitching all the time.
Might be the funniest home videos or Hey Hey It's Saturday, a bit.
A little bit of that. Yeah, Gag, I think you might be right. Matt Frewer was in Lawnmower Man too. Matt Frewer did a bunch of stuff. The last thing I saw him in, he was in the Watchmen movie. He played the retired supervillain Moloch, who was dying of cancer. I think that was about the last thing I saw Matt Frewer in. But he's done heaps over the years. Lots of TV, lots of movies. Not as a star, but he's been in a lot of TVs and movies. And I think he's done a lot of voice work as well.
Man, The Watchmen was a pretty interesting movie.
Yeah, I think that's the good word for it. Interesting. I was into the Watchmen comic, and I honestly think it would be difficult to make a better movie. You can point out to a lot of flaws in the movie, but it's like, Jesus, it's a really complicated story, and it'd be very hard. It would be hard to make a better version of it than that movie.
Yeah, and then like what's his name, Dr. Manhattan, just big blue thing with his swinging around during
Dr.
World War II.
Swinging in the breeze. Scored a name check in Hilltop Hoods track where they just throw in, like, when they're saying how cool they are. I'm just out here swinging my dick like Dr. Manhattan.
Oh yeah, and they also were like, oh, we stand in remembrance of the incident of Frankston Pier. That was pretty funny.
With the seagulls, or
no, where Frankston Pier apparently disappeared.
Okay, I'm lost. Where did Frankston Pier disappear?
I don't actually know.
Okay, well, I try to avoid Frankston, so I'm not really sure.
Yeah, whenever I'm in Victoria, I do avoid Frankston.
Yeah, I don't spend a lot of time in Frankston. It's not good for your health generally to spend a lot of time there. So it is, you know.
I lived in Pakenham. That was interesting.
Yeah. Again, I don't spend a lot of time in Pakenham. It's so funny. Like, I've lived in Melbourne for 20 years, and my knowledge of Melbourne's geography is still shit. If it's not a suburb I go to, I don't know where it is. People go like, "No, such and such," and I go, "Where's that?" That's it. What's that near? They go, "It's south." I don't know what's south. What roads are near it? What is it near? Because I've never been there. So, and then they treat me like
like that too. Despite the fact I grew up there.
Yeah, I like Strictly Sega calling it Frangistan. Yeah, Frankanistan. It is. Well, the weirdest thing, for those who don't know, Frankston is actually a waterfront suburb, and as we all know, places that are waterfront tend to be very expensive. And the waterfront of Frankston is no different. You go out there's all these really big, expensive houses. They're on Port Phillip Bay, but you go a couple streets back from the bay. Once there's no longer a water view, you are in, as Strictly Sega puts it, Frankanistan. It is It is a little bit of a war zone. It is really, really quite a rough area. So it's really weird. You go from these really expensive places to these really dodgy as hell places, all in the same suburb.
Oh yeah, like my little brother told me once about how they found explosive and ammunition in a house next to Frankston Library, and then thousands of people were mostly amazed that there was a library in Frankston.
Yeah. Yeah, no one was surprised at the ammunition and explosives. They were just surprised about the library. Yeah, that makes sense. Yes. Oh, yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Annette's saying, yeah, that's just like Altona in the West. It's like there's a waterfront bit, which is actually quite expensive, and you only have to get a bit back from the water till it's dodgy as hell. It's the weird
Yeah,
thing. Yeah. Yes. People think water is fantastic, but yeah. I think when I first moved to Melbourne, I should have friggin' bought in. Oh God! I'm blanking. The bit on the other side of the bay, which is before Altona. Fuck! It's like directly across from St Kilda, but it's on the western side.
I have no idea.
Oh, can't remember, but it's like it was still regarded as really dodgy and weird because it was on the western side when I first moved to Melbourne, and I should have bought somewhere there because it has doubled at least in price since then. It's just God. Now I'm gonna have to look on a map because it's driving me crazy that I can't remember the name of this suburb. Let me open a map of Melbourne. Yes, there we are. So Williamstown. Yes, it's Williamstown, which is on the western side of Port Phillip Bay. This is like looking straight across at St Kilda. But when I first moved here, that was regarded as really dodgy because it was on the western side. And it's closer to the city than Altona. You keep going and you get to Altona. But Williamstown was regarded as really dodgy when I first moved here. But now it's so expensive. Gecko going to bed. Thanks for dropping by, man.
Yeah, peace.
Williamstown's good. Well, because I lived on the western side for most of the first 10 years I was in Melbourne. So I'm fine with being a Westie. So yeah, around Science Works, yes. Which okay.
All right, I've got to go.
All right. Thanks for
I've
dropping
been beckoned by my wife.
All right. Another time then.
No worries, buddy.
All right. See
No
you,
worries,
mate.
I'm playing great. See you later.
Cheers, mate.
And peace out, everybody, and have an awesome night and stay safe and well.
That's what we all want. Cheers, mate. All right. So, yeah. Oh, yeah. No, Williamstown's been millionaires for years, but I lived here 20 years ago, which was just before it turned. A lot of development started in Williamstown just when I moved to Melbourne. And then it went crazy. And then I still haven't seen The Mandalorian, actually. Yeah. I still love that once the painters and dockers got pushed out of Willie, it got gentrified. Yeah, it started about 20 years ago. They started these major developments, but it was regarded as way dodgy. I should have bought, man, when I first moved to Melbourne, should have bought in Williamstown because, like, literally in the last 20 years, it's at least doubled, probably more. But yeah, it was really, and in fact, there were these whole stretches of Williamstown that were empty, sort of former light industrial things, little bit of a wasteland, and they cleared all that, and it's all like medium density housing now. It's changed so much in the last 20 years. Pretty well, Dave's built himself a blanket fort for a recording studio when he needs to do videos for work. Nice. That'd be good. A blanket fort, besides reliving your childhood, would have good sound editing would actually be good audio quality. That's pretty clever, honestly, as well as being fun. Okay, Strictly Sega like The Mandalorian. Everyone likes The Mandalorian. I don't have Disney Plus. Yeah, I haven't really been watching that much. Like, you have to go, oh, what have you been binging? It's like, well, I'm still working. I'm not watching that much more, and I was doing a lot of these live streams. The reason I haven't been, this is the first live stream since Friday. Well, Saturday was date night, as I did say on Friday. But yeah, then again, I just decided to, instead of go to the live stream, sit down with Mrs. Angry on Sunday night and Monday night, watch some stuff. Watched a couple of movies. Watched the Tolkien biopic. It was okay. There's not much happening. It was nicely made, but it was a little bit boring. That's just called Tolkien biopic of the other Lord of the Rings, of course. On what did we watch? Oh, Sunday night watched a movie called Widows, which was an American version of something that was originally Lydia LaPlante book, I think, and it was made for British TV, and it was pretty good. Widows, the American movie Widows, was pretty good. And I'd never watched the British thing, so I don't know if the twists in the American movie were the same twists that were in the British thing, because I didn't watch it. But there are a couple of pretty goddamn good twists in the Widows. I certainly didn't see them coming. And last night watched Ready Player One, which a bunch of people have been telling me to watch for ages, and I finally got around to watching it. And it was okay. It's not great. It's a kid's. Honestly, it's a kid's movie. It was spoon feeding you everything that was happening. Lots of exposition, voiceover, and dialogue between characters. It's not terrible, but it's not great. It is a kid's movie. Sorry to anyone who really liked it, but it was basically a kid's movie, which again is not absolutely damning. It's just there's not very challenging viewing. Safi, you think Mandalorian feels more like Star Wars than the sequel trilogy? Sequel trilogy, I think Force Awakens was very good. I think The Last Jedi was extremely good, and Rise of Skywalker was such a fucking disappointment. Like, yeah, it's got lots of cool looking stuff in it, but it's just like so fucking pointless. Because they're advertising Rise of Skywalker a lot on digital release now, and every time I see an ad for it, I just sort of sigh and just go, "Oh god, that was so fucking disappointing." It was so much nothing. Like, I didn't hate it. It wasn't. It was too bland to hate. And there was some stuff in it I really liked, but broadly it was like, oh, so you just stuck a bunch of cool stuff in for no real reason. Oh, Petit Willoughby, you watched Ready Player One yesterday as well. Nice. Synchronized movie watching. But yeah, I don't know if my job runs out. My contract runs till end of June, but it's a contract. Stuff could change, and also it's government, and their budgets are all shot to hell. So quite possibly at the end of June or even before, they go, "Oh, we've got no more budget. Bye-bye, contractor." Frankie, how's it going, buddy? Good to see you. Also, TV-wise, watching The Walking Dead, Westworld, really liking the world building in the third season of Westworld, and Devs, which is a very interesting and more than a little trippy show, worth watching. Like, they don't explain a goddamn thing in Devs. If they're going like, okay, the central thing, I think I know what it is. And it's like, as it got to, I think it was only the fourth episode that was on this week. It was like by the end of the third episode, they'd almost explained what this central technology thing was. Devs is a development group for this, Silicon Valley company. And what they're working on in Devs, by the end of the third episode, they'd almost explained it to you. And then the fourth episode, they kind of explain it, but they do it in such a weird, trippy way that you're not sure if you really understand anymore. Or maybe you're more confused. Ugh. That's fair, Adele. Wait until you finish your first drafts of 2 law assignments before binging anything. So I'm probably, not going to binge things until I'm not working anymore. And whenever that is, if that happens at the end of June or before or after, or and I mean, I have had agencies call me in the last couple of weeks saying, hey, you're looking for work? And I went, no, but I'm kind of intrigued if someone is hiring at the moment. Okay, it's easy enough. They interview you through webcam, which would be weird but doable. But I don't know how they'd start you, how they would onboard you. I was thinking, like, if I started somewhere completely new, I'd have to be on Skype calls with people almost non-stop, just trying to get my head around things. Oh, God, I got the yawns. I yawned once. Now I'm not going to be able to stop. I know you had Preacher on. That's on Stan. Stan is a streaming service I don't have. I got what do you call it? Well, I actually got Netflix specifically to watch Star Trek Discovery, and then I did find a bunch of other stuff that I wanted to watch on it. And of course, they keep bringing out new stuff. And I got Amazon Prime for a couple of specific things like American Gods and Good Omens. I watched The Boys and there's a few others. And now Star Trek Picard was quite good. Hey, Fletcher, how you doing? Busy Wallaby, when you're not working, you're crafting, gaming, watching Netflix. Many hobbies. That is excellent. Safa, is it really easy to find work in Melbourne? Not at the well, it depends what you want to do. There are people hiring. Just depends what it is you want to do. Adele, okay, you rotate the streaming services. So you're cancelling Stan, back to Amazon Prime to watch Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. I didn't mind that. I started watching Marvelous Mrs. Maisel with Mrs. Angry. Mrs. Angry did not get into it. And I haven't had enough time to watch it on my own. Some stuff we watch together, some stuff we just watch on our own. And I haven't had enough time to really be into things I was watching on my own. So I'm quite behind with watching. I make time for specific things, like when the last season of The Good Place came out, I made sure to watch it. The last season of BoJack Horseman, when they released new Rick and Morty episodes. And as I said, I'm keeping up with The Walking Dead and Westworld, and now Devs is a new one I'm watching. Been thinking about watching the second season of Altered Carbon on Netflix, because that was a pretty trippy show. Not perfect, not absolutely fantastic, but definitely had good stuff in it. Stella, you got Prime for Picard. I thought Picard was good. Charlie, you're a Tika and Bertie fan. I liked Tuca and Bertie, probably didn't get super into it. And of course, Netflix canned Tuca and Bertie after one season. I think Tuca and Bertie had some very good stuff in it. I never got super into it. What are you at? Because I really like animations, but the other ones, the Matt Groening one, Disenchantment, I haven't been able to get into that. Like, it's not terrible, and it's often really beautiful and good stuff, but I do not find myself laughing at it. Same as Final Space. Some people like Final Space, and again, Final Space has some good stuff in it. Is often quite beautifully made, but they're trying to balance drama and comedy, and it's just not hitting the mark for me. Then there's the absolutely shitful Paradise PD, which I watched 1 or 2 episodes of and just went, no, this is shit. I'm not watching this. There's one called F is for Family, which I quite like. Like 3 seasons of that, I think. Oh, Big Mouth. I love Big Mouth on Netflix. That show is fucking great. I really like the animated show Big Mouth. So yeah, of the animations that have come out, I think I've gotten into about half of them and not so much in the other half. Yes, Frank, The Good Place is actually the bad place. Spoiler alert. But the show The Good Place is an exploration of philosophy and human nature and what it means to be a good person, and it's also funny as hell. It's very funny. The characters are really endearing, and the themes are really interesting. Ooh. Okay. Let's just start yawning. Adele, you know some people doing a D&D podcast called, was it Dice Casters? Cool. Catherine, you're also watching DVDs. I was trying to give away some DVDs, some kids' DVDs, actually. Stella, I hope you enjoy American Gods. I really quite enjoyed American Gods. I read the book back in the day because that book was actually released a long time ago. I quite enjoyed the series American Gods. I agree, Fletcher. Last episode of Picard was quite... The Expanse! That's another good one. Worth getting Amazon Prime for The Expanse. The Expanse is a very good sci-fi series. And g'day to you, David. How's it going? Adele, you were planning to do the Final Fantasy remake and the semester break. You don't know. Your next crunching... Yes, you can't... Masseuse, you can't be... Was that Fletcher? My TARDIS has tea. Yes, it's a tea TARDIS. TARDIS tea? I think everyone's decided massages are not essential, aren't they? But you can go to a physio, but not a massage place. Plus, so many, oh my God, so many of the massage places are dodgy AF. There's one in the city on Burke Street up towards Parliament. And I just saw it. It's like in the city and they go, massage. And there are curtains across all the windows of this place. And I went, nah, this is where businessmen go to get a quick wristy at lunchtime. That's what's going on here. Suburb up away from me, went out to dinner at one place with Mrs. Angry. Walking up the street in this one little suburban strip of shops, there were 6 therapeutic massage places, and I thought, okay, no suburb needs that much massage. These places are all dodgy. And it was confirmed for me that most of them were dodgy because only one of them had the sign, but one of them had a sign saying, this is strictly massage only, do not ask for sexual services or the police will be called. And I went, okay, and you're the only one with that sign, so I know what the other ones are doing. So I know because I went to physio last year because I just seriously fucked this shoulder up. Like I was in so much, and just from sleeping like this, I fucked this shoulder up so much. I was in so much pain. I couldn't sleep. The pain would keep me awake. And so typical male, it took me far too long to seek any help. I did go to a physio, and after months of the intense sort of work and some exercises, it got largely better, although it's still not as flexible as it should be. But it's not painful. Now this one's painful. Not as painful as this was, but I feel like I fucked this arm up now. I think The physio was saying, because he sent an email saying he'll do consults over the phone, but I think if it's regarded as something that has to happen, it is essential, and you can go in and have a physio thingy. So yes. But yes, pity Wallaby. It's definitely dodgy if one of these places is signed with quotation marks going massage. But yeah, I'm like I said, I'm convinced most of the ones on this suburban street were dodgy because one of them was compelled to put a sign saying no, we're not dodgy. And I'm sure this one in the city in Burke Street, that's where businessmen go for a wristy at lunchtime. It just looked so dodgy. It was just sort of down in the street, and there's curtains over all, like, it was a glass front, but there's always in that. I go, no, there's no way that's legit. Like that's like the bloody nudge wink businessman special. Hey, wait, did I lose track of time? Is it actually 11 o'clock now, or is the clock on this wrong? I just realized, I thought I was coming up to 2 hours, and it's actually coming up to 3 hours. How did that happen? That is so weird. That is really weird. Well, you people are obviously very engaging, because somehow I've been here for an hour longer than I intended, which is really confusing me, to be completely honest. It is seriously confusing. No, it's only 2. It's nearly 10. I didn't think that made any sense. But what the fuck? Why is this got into the Twilight Zone? This is so weird. It's supposed to change itself. I had this problem with a work laptop too. Okay. What's the time? Settings. Where's my time? Time and language. Set time automatically. It says on. Set time zone automatically. On. Synchronize the clock. So if I synchronize, yeah, okay. Then it just changed back now. What the fuck? But the weirdest thing is it's there. I think the StreamYard app is saying I've been live for 2 hours. But that's weird. No, Victoria's the same as New South Wales. And now I've frozen. What the hell happened there? Now my video has frozen. Is that because I changed this setting? I don't know. No, okay. Well, that's a sign from God, okay? Okay, it's a sign from God. You can hear me. Okay. Well, I'm gonna go to bed. I wasn't sure if you could hear me. I'm gonna go to bed, ready for another day of work tomorrow. Look after yourself, one and all. Adele, I'm with you. I'm going to give up and go to bed. Yes, Frankie, hail Satan. Anyway, good night, one and all. It's all died at my end because I messed with something. That's what I get for playing God. I also went back to saying I've only been alive for 158. Stupid fucking thing. Anyway, later. See you all, fabulous people. Look after yourselves. Be well. Try and stay positive in this weird, confusing, fucked up world we're in right now. And probably see you again. Well, I'll probably be here tomorrow. But see you sometime soon, hopefully. Bye for now. Hit